Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about clouds, and this is the final result of this tutorial. So let's get started if you want to learn how to paint these clouds. Hey guys, what's up? So today we're going to be talking about clouds, and the first thing we're going to do here is to analyze this reference. So what about the reference? When you have looked for some pictures and reference to work with, you just need to kind of analyze it and try to understand what makes it look like it looks like, what exactly is going on in there that make them look that way. So in this case that we are talking about clouds, we're going to be talking about also the sky and all the stuff, like what's going on with the lighting and everything. So the first thing I notice is that the blue sky has like a transition. So if you notice here, start in one kind of blue and then ends in another. So this one is more bright and this part is darker. So that's the first thing I notice when I see these images. The second thing is the shadow. You can see a shadow part here in the clouds, and they are kind of like round. So that's important that you take in consideration when you're painting clouds. So another thing is the shadow color. And I think this image is upside down. Anyway, so notice that the color, that the shadow in the cloud is a little purple. And what else? See here, you can see the kind of like a purple color. There is also here we have what is called super scattering, because the density of the cloud is not that it's not like something solid, it's more like translucent. The light goes through it and create this kind of look, like the light can go through the cloud. Here is also happening the thing with the color of the shadow. It is more like gray and purple, and all of this is blue. So actually let me see if this color is totally different from the I took this color, the color from the shadow of the cloud, and put it here to see, and it's really different from the color of the sky. So what else? You can see that there's a bit of bounce light. The light is bouncing a little, and you can see how this part is kind of lit by this. Here happens too. See, you can see kind of like everything is lit up. There's shadows, but they're more like in the lower part of the cloud. So knowing all this, we can start kind of painting the cloud. So let's get started. Okay, so now we're going to make a little sketch, but before doing that, I'm going to make a wider kind of how do I say that, workplace. I'm going to make more wide because it's going to be a sky, and I need to be more wide. That's okay, I think. Okay, so remember that I don't know exactly what I'm going to do in the tutorials. I just do it, and I hope that I can explain it right, because I think that way is better, because I'm actually fixing the problem in the moment, and it's not like how do I say that? It's not like it's prepared. So okay, right now I need, the reason I'm just doing this is because I need a a hard brush. And for doing that, just press S5 and take off the other dynamics and the shape dynamics. That way it's just hard. I'm going to save it, which is with the little icon here. And now I have a hard brush. That means it doesn't have opacity or anything. So for that, with that, what we're going to do is just we need kind of like let's call it horizon line, but it's not. It's more like just a starting point for the perspective that we're going to use. And we're going to be making a vanishing point, which is this little point here, this little cross. And I'm going to be making these little lines, which I'm doing with the shift button in the keyboard. So these little lines are the ones that are going to help me make the clouds kind of have some sense, and they're not going to be just crazy drawings on the air. Okay, so now I need like a grid. I need it to be it's going to be like the lines has to be closer. Let me make 2 more lines here. It's kind of a mess here, but that works. Okay, so what I need right now is some horizontal lines, and they're going to be more together in the far. Sorry, it's just that sometimes I don't remember the words. When we go closer, they're going to be more open between them, alright? So that's going to give us a sense of distance. So this is kind of like the grid that we're going to use. I think it's okay. It's just a guide for to make the clouds. And I thought that the best way to draw the clouds was to start with the shadow part. But it's not like we're going to paint the shadow. We're just going to make like some kind of a stain in the perspective that we're going to have. Something like this, for example. Kind of follow these lines. Something like this, maybe. And then I go up. We're going to pull up from there, but in like round shapes, something like this. I was thinking while I was doing I'm also thinking in real time, so if I got stuck it's because sometimes I'm a man, so I cannot do 2 things at the same time. If I'm thinking, I cannot draw, so it's really hard. Okay, so these are the shapes that we're going to be making for the clouds. So we're going to start by making the shadow parts, and then we're going up like this, alright? So we can say here there is a space between the 2 clouds. Let me mark that here. This is a sketch, so it really doesn't matter too much what we do. All this is going to change. This is not line art. We're going to paint on top of all this. Let's make a closer one, maybe one that goes around this way to help the composition a little bit. And we're going to go up like this. Of course, everything is going to be soft. This is not going to be like a plain shadow. At the beginning, maybe, when we start coloring, but then we have to change that. Alright, so maybe doing some squares. I don't know, I'm just trying to figure out one way to do it. Maybe doing some squares. We could figure out the volume of the shadows. Maybe something like this. We have to help ourselves with the perspective that we got here. Maybe doing this little square, this could help us. I don't know. I'm just trying to invent a way to draw the shadows. Whatever works for you in terms of volume. Like, okay, I know this is the volume that I got, now I have to draw a cloud in there. So maybe we can start filling these square shapes, these cubes, with the cloud. They look like a breath of cloud or something. Breath shape. It looks really weird, but anyway, we can fix that in the painting. Let's make it softer to see if it helps, just a little. And let's see here. Okay, and actually we're going to do the same that we were doing with the lines, and when we go farther we need to put more and more clouds, more and more clouds. What the hell is that? Okay, more and more clouds, and that way we can help to make it look like the distance. Like, the more far away they are, there are more quantity of clouds. And this one, because are closer, they don't look so many. Alright, so this is our cloud sketch. Let's put a little bit more here. We're going to take off the lines. Now let's copy that. Whoops. Let's put that together, and let's copy this layer and move it here. I have auto select on, I need to turn it off. That doesn't help for anything. It just helps when you have a lot of layers and you don't know what to do with them and you don't want to name them. Sometimes I use it, just not all the time. Okay, so what we need now is to make a palette of colors. Of course, the cool way to do it is to mix them, but as we are kind of learning our way to be concept artists or illustrator, and time is really important, and we want to save time. So I'm going to just pick up some colors from these images, and the ones I like the most, I gotta say, are, I think these ones look better to me, but we will see what to do. So we're going to create our palette of colors, and for that we're just going to pick the ones we like. I'm also going to grab some from this one. And sorry for the voice, I'm a little bit sick at the moment. That's why I talk like this. So, okay, I like this color for the brighter part of the blue. Remember, we have two tones. We talk about it in the reference thing. So we need this color here. Let's use a soft brush. Right, this color here, and for the part up we're going to be using this one, but this one, it looks too blue. It's like fake blue. Maybe that photo is retouched. So I'm going to put a little bit of the other one. Actually going to put 40%, no, less, like 20. For those percentages, I just press the numbers in the keyboard, so it's not magic, as some guy was saying on the comments a few months ago. Okay, for the clouds, I need the dark color, which is the color of the shadow, and I want actually to be a little bit darker, so I'm going to go a bit darker on that. something like this. And we need like a medium color. I just grabbed another one, and we need the brighter one, which is obviously white, so no mystery here. I'm going to check out this one. There's another color here. This one is a little bit more purple than this one at one side. You can see that difference in there. So that's going to be our palette of colors. I'm going to put this one here. Whoops. I'm going to put this one here. These two are the ones of the sky, and these ones are the ones for the clouds. So this is going to be our palette of colors. Let's put that here. Palette of clouds. I'm going to take off the reference for the moment. I think I have it here at one side. Yes, there it is. Yes, I'm actually recording. There was one time that I wasn't recording and I lost everything, so now I check all the time. Alright, so now we're going to start by applying these colors, and we're obviously going to start with the sky, but for that we're going to do a new layer before the lines. I'm going to select this part, this section of the image, and I'm going to use the bucket with the, let's use the brighter one. Boom, there it is. And now I'm going to select the darker one. I'm going to use a really soft brush, which is no mystery. I have it just without any shape dynamics and without other dynamics or transfer. It's just a big brush with soft edges. That's it. And I'm going to, let's make a new layer, and I'm going to do this. Now what I'm going to do with that layer is just pull down the scale like this. See, so it's a really quick way to do it, and it looks like I practice it, but no, I just came up with the idea, which is so cool. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to put less opacity on this layer, which is a layer of the line art, sorry. And now we're going to paint with the, normally I start with the middle tone. Let's do that. I'm going to start with the middle one, and we're going to make a new layer on top, before the line art. And I'm going to use, we could use the same brush, the same hard brush, soft brush with no opacity or anything, because right now we just need to fill it with color. It's not like we are doing any shading right now. Sorry if I talk with my nose, it's just that I had a cold a few days ago and I'm a bit sick still, but no one can keep me away from the computer, so I'm trying to do my part. Okay, so let's keep filling this out. And then we're going to be making the shadow part. Alright. Something like this. And here I created a new layer, but it's just because I have like I do that all the time. I'm constantly creating new layers because I don't know if I'm going to mess up in the next part. So I prefer to create a new layer if I think I'm going to be erasing or something. So these are our middle tones. I have another middle tone, but now I'm going to change to this brush, which is a soft brush. It has transfer. I'm going to put some of the other one, some of that purple color, which is really cool. Okay, important. Now we gotta decide where is our sun, our light coming from. That's really important. We need to know where's our light coming from in order to be able to put the shadows and everything. So I was thinking, I'm always do like it's coming this way. So that's what we're going to do. So the light is after the cloud, so it's going to be something like that. Alright, and now we are going to paint on top of the line art. I'm going to use the brighter color now. I'm going to start filling this, but look at something. Try to analyze the shape of the cloud, okay? Here we could say that it does this. Does something like this. Sorry guys, I have to make a pause because I was going to sneeze. Well, I did sneeze. So I was saying that we have to understand the shape. I always say that. I always say that you have to understand the shape before painting. And what this shape tells us is that this is the part that's going to be lit. Just this face. Just this face, like all this part, and that's what we're going to be working on. We're going to be putting the light in here. In here. And now I'm going to change to the next step because I don't want to do too much of this part. I want to leave everything else for the detail. But here you're starting to see it has a bit of volume already. So just draw random shapes, and just random shapes. Sometimes I just do a point like this, point, or I'm trying to do something like in this pattern, but really close, so it looks like it's round. Something like this, something like this. Here I really need it to be bright. Alright, okay. No, here I don't need that. Something like this, okay. There we go with our first part of the clouds. I'm going to move the palette of colors here because I'm going to put all this in one layer. Let me get rid of this one and get rid of this one, which is the light source. Remember where it's coming from. And I'm going to keep the lines on it. The background, I think not yet. I'm going to, whoops, I put the clouds and the blue sky together. Okay, now I collapsed the two colors from the background to keep the gradient, and now I'm going to copy the clouds. And I need my timer, which is the cool timer. When I say my timer, it's because I always use it. It's not like I invented it. I'm going to put 10 minutes on it, so I know how much I'm spending on each square. Okay, now I'm going to start by putting the shadows. Let's take the darker color, which is this one, and let's start making those shadows. So not all the way, it's just like when you think there's going to be the darker part of the shadow, and it's going to be mostly on the bottom. Here we need some of that. Definitely here. Here. Something like this. Alright. Actually, in the back we're going to need to do something. I don't know what is it yet. I think in the reference there is some example of something like that. Here there's something we could do. Like, do you know what's going on here in the back? Something like that will be cool. But let's just put some little colors in there. Nothing specific. Something like that. Alright. It's already taking a little bit of shape. So now what we're going to do is just paint. Let's have fun with this, alright? So I do my shading, I say it all the time, by repetition. That means that I do a lot of strokes to get one color. So let's work first like the big shapes. So notice, I'm trying to make like this kind of a sphere shape, spheric shape. So I can start applying some shadow and then grabbing with the eyedropper. I grab with the eyedropper the dark color that I want to use, and then I grab the brighter one and I just make some kind of a circle shape in there. The result is something like that. We could do the opposite too. You could start with the bright color and then make a circle with the with the darker one, and you have a different result. Basically what we're going to do is just make round shapes everywhere. So that's our goal right now. We could fade a bit in here. Go fade it like this, but you need to go brighter on the tip to make it look like it's receiving light in there. Time flies. Okay, so let's see what else we can do to make clouds. Okay, just circular shapes like this, and then with the brighter one, circular shapes but doing pauses. So the result is something like this. See? And we have to make some of them a little bit softer. That's our goal. Just round shapes everywhere. Same here. I'm going to be doing round shapes, round with dark. I think of something cool in this part. Let's see if it looks great. I'm starting to use the blue color too. The blue from the background, I'm starting to use it. We could put a little bit of light coming from here, like there's some light reaching some of this cloud. because it has this shape, kind of like a U shape. And the dark color in the bottom. And now we need some round shapes in here. Remember not to go too dark. You have a middle tone. Remember the middle tone always. Put some more brights in here. And we need to go dark in the bottom. Something like that. Remember, you have to also remember the perspective a bit. You cannot forget about that. And look, here I'm putting some bright spots in another parts. That's also important. The clouds that are far away, they kind of need less work because because they are far, and second because they are little, so you need a little brush. And if you use a big one, you're going to cover more space. Also, I'm putting a little bit of bright color, and we're supposed to be shadow because there are spots that are going to be kind of like translucent, and that's also important. Here I want to go soft on the tips, and here let's use this kind of bright color in here. It's going to look cool. Have some brightness in there. Something like that. Okay. See what I'm talking about? This part is really dark, and this one is a little bit clear, so it makes a cool effect because it looks like the light is trying to get through it. That's an important effect that we kind of need to achieve. We also need, let's see where else. We need bounces of light, but we're going to do that one on the next part, on the next square, before going into detail, because we only have just 2 more steps. But it's looking good already, don't you think? Alright, here we need, this part was kind of like forgotten, so I'm going to put more light in this part. Here. A little bit more here. Something like this. Maybe we could connect these two. Let's make a bridge of clouds here and put some brightness between them to make it look like there's more clouds. I'm saying this is I think this is the time of my life that I set clouds more times. Alright, let's put 10 minutes again. Now we can put this together. Whoops. Let's put everything together and let's just cut this. Here we go. And I'm going to block those other ones. And I'm going to move my palette of colors here. You always have to keep it. Okay, now we are going to work on the bounces. But for that, I think I'm going to create a new color. Let's make a cool color. It's invented, so I'm just going to take this white. I didn't grab anything from there, and this other one. But this other one, which is this one, I'm going to make it a little bit more purple and bright. And I'm going to mix, if you look here, I'm going to mix, 50% like that, 50% here. That's going to be my bounce color for the clouds. So it's going to be like the light hits here and goes here. This doesn't make too much sense because of the color, but it does make a cool effect. So we're going to be making it. So it's actually going to bounce here because this part is going to be that one too. Is looking that there. Alright, so it's actually going to touch this part. That's a cool way to know where it's going to be. Just make few lines, and we're going to put some color coming from there. Something like that. We're going to put more, let's see here. And we could put a little bit between these ones. And why not? Let's put some here, just to make it look cooler. We have some bounces. It doesn't actually make too much sense. They are purple, but it looks pretty. It looks really beautiful. So we're going to be taking that as an excuse to use the purple. Let's connect these two. And use this color here. It's like all this face of the clouds is going to be of the bounce color. Looks great. Okay, so having that, we're going to, let's put a little bit more here. Something like that. Let's put some here. If you're looking for the far and looks good, leave it that way. Okay. Let's put some of dark color in the back. I think we need more bright colors too. Like this. Something like that. And I think we need a little bit more little clouds. Like this maybe. And I think that as they go, let me see the references, as they go like far away, they could have some color of the sky. So we're actually going to take the sky color and paint that on top a little bit, like this. Yeah, that's what's going on. That's what they don't start to look farther. They need a little of blue from the background. As soon as I put that color in, they looked farther, kind of like a fog effect. Okay, these are our bounces, and I think we can go right away to the final step, which are going to be the details. So let's take this and copy and go to the final. I'm going to stop this clock. I don't like pressure on the details. I create a new layer. Now let's make more everything, all of this more detail. I'm going to make some shapes a little better. Maybe we could do something like this. Yeah, and now let's just make it better, and let's use the smudge tool too. I'm going to use the same brush that I was using for the painting, but I'm going to use it on the smudge tool. I noticed that I'm using 60% on the smudge tool, and I'm just moving a little bit. This should give a smooth effect on them, but we don't want to look like a blur, like it's moved. We just want a little bit more softness, that's all. We need soft transitions, like what I'm doing right now, between the colors. Something like that. And what else? Basically we need to make everything softer than how it is. So we're going to grab some of the colors that are on the edge, and we're going to be mixing it with the color of the background. Something like that, yeah. We're going to take the colors on the edge. We're going to blend the background with the cloud. Something like this, alright? Let me make a small pause. Sorry for the small pause, it's just that I'm a little bit sick, so there we go. We just have to make everything softer in the edges, and that's using the smudge tool and the brush. That way we have a really soft edge effect. And we need to concentrate on making everything that is white looking that way. We just have to soft everything up. So I'm using 60% on the smudge tool. That's the name. Smudge tool, and that means that it's not working 100%, of course. So the result is really soft. And I'm also doing back and forth, so you get that really blurry effect. Sorry about that. Let's create a new layer, and I'm going to try to push this cloud up like this. I'm using just the white color and the smudge tool a little, and let's use the bounce color on this side. The thing is that there are colors, there are shapes of the clouds that are really hard to accomplish because they are so random. So sometimes they are really random, so it's really hard to accomplish the shape of the shadow of the clouds, I mean. Let's put a little bit of darkness like in here. I think this is okay. Alright. And basically we just need to do that in all the clouds. Take these same steps in all the clouds. We will achieve the result. Notice I'm going brighter on the edges. This edge is brighter, this part is brighter. So that's really important that you know, that you do. I'm trying to just follow the shape of the clouds and just work in the moment. I'm not sure about jumping in all the image with this when you're painting clouds. If you're painting something else, you can do it, but in this case I will say that you stick to the shapes of the clouds and just go with it, because I don't think it's too productive to be jumping here and there with the clouds, with the clouds. So let's work it that way. Here I'm also making light parts on the other side of the cloud, something like this. Sorry if there's any noise in the background. And what else can I say? Everything comes down to making them soft, and in this part, when you're working on the ones that are far away, you can get a little bit loose because you don't have to put much detail on those. In this part they are way too far away to be able to see anything. Let's put a little bit more of shapes in the cloud like this. Maybe one cloud like in the middle, and put the brighter part here and here. something like that. Looks pretty cool. So I'm working the brush really quick. I'm trying to be quick with the strokes, but sort of at the same time, so you're gonna have to do a little bit of strength with your hand to control that, and maybe it will hurt a bit, but it's okay. It's not like it's going to kill you. Just painting. Let's work with 50% opacity to see what happens. Obviously this helps blend things a little bit more. Don't forget to use the shadow color too. Trying to use it on the shadow part, in the middle of in the kind of like in the center of the bottom of the cloud, because that part is more dense. It needs to be darker because there's less light going through that part. Let's soft everything up. We need to soft the edges. Let's take the color on the edges and work with those. See, this is starting to look cool. I was a bit worried at the beginning though. Something like this. Now let's work with this one. I'm jumping here. The thing that I told you not to do, I'm doing it. I'm jumping to this side because I don't want to leave it without work. I'm going to soft everything up. I'm doing circles now with the smudge tool. Circles work too, I think. They're looking good. Working it with circles doesn't look bad, so it's okay. Here more circles. I really like how this dark color goes in the middle, like is there alone. This one here, really dark in there. I was trying to test something out with the Dutch, but it doesn't work as I thought it will be, so let's not use it. Here I need a little bit more detail because the distance, the clouds need to be a little bit smaller. And let's see, maybe we could paint a little kind of like just in the tip, like going to actually look like a backlight or something. Now let's go with this part. I soft everything up with the smudge tool. now I can go put some details on them. Maybe we can put some of that kind of like backlight effect here. Yeah. Working 50% opacity in the brush. Something like that. Alright, now we get to the part of the back, which is obviously less and less important in terms of detail. I grabbed some white color and I'm trying to put some bright highlights. But remember that these ones are mixed with the color of the background, so you shouldn't be doing that too much, just a little. Obviously the ones that got more attention are the ones on the right. But this is kind of how you make clouds. So let's see what else we can do here. I'm going to try to put some... I put a new layer, of course. Every time I'm going to try something, I create a new layer. Let's put some bright here. Just put it more bright in there to see how it looks. And I'm going to take the dark color on the palette a bit. To test things around. It could go up in here. Everything else is just artistic decision. And well, I really hope you like this tutorial. Don't forget to check out my other tutorials, including the new one of skin. I really hope you like it. This is it, guys. Talk to you on the next time. Also, at the end, we could make a little bit of fixing with the adjustments. Like, for example, making more contrast if we want to, brightness, or go darker. At the moment, I think it's okay already how it is, so I don't think it changed too much. Just a bit of maybe contrast and a little bit of brightness, but that's it. In terms of color, I don't know about is saturated enough, so I don't think I'd go. Maybe less saturated, like -10 in the saturation options. That's in image adjustments, hue and saturation. So this is our final result. If I actually want to make some curve changes, it will be like what I always do, which is yellow and blue on the dark parts. That we don't go too dark on this tutorial. I don't know, it does make it looks a little bit cool, but it's not like we need it to look like that. But I don't know, it's okay. We could change that with the opacity though. If this is 1%, 10% I mean, and this is 100%. Maybe something like 80, it's okay. Yeah. Well guys, this is it. I really hope you like this tutorial. Talk to you on the next time. Don't forget to check my other tutorials and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.